Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Sikich Live on this beautiful Tuesday. Hopefully everyone's doing well. We are here for our Tuesday Salesforce edition live here at Sikich. So go ahead and smash that subscribe and like button wherever it is, over on the corner side, somewhere on your Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn feeds. I'm here each Tuesday and Thursday each week with a new exciting topic about ERP, IT managed services, security, CRM, and so many more happenings of our service lines here at Sikich. But before I bring on our returning guest, Frank, to talk about financial service cloud for insurance companies, make sure you're not shy while you're on here. If you're in the chat right now, ask a question about something you want to know right now. That's why we're here. That's why we come live to you each week, so you can get your questions answered right away with some of our consulting professionals. Back in August of 2015, Salesforce released the Financial Services Cloud, or what is commonly referred to as FSC. You're going to hear that a little bit throughout today's session. And Financial Services Cloud enables financial service firms to unify the customer experience across channels, geographies, and both consumer and commercial lines of business. To talk more about this, we have Frank, who is our returning guest with us this week. Thanks so much for being back here, Frank, and thanks for talking to us a little bit more about not just FSC, for wealth management companies and industries like we talked about last week, but today we're going to focus a little bit more on insurance, right?
Exactly. Yes. Look forward to talking more about insurance. Yes. But it's all part of the FSC too.
Yeah. So that's what I want to start out just like we did last week. In case anyone missed us last week, just a general overview of what FSC is, the Financial Services Cloud for Salesforce. If you could kind of go over that again for us.
Sure. No problem. Definitely, Michael. So the FSC is Salesforce's industry-specific application. And it's what it does is gives you the information for an insurance agent or insurance rep or banker or wealth manager. And all the information is stored at one spot. And the nice thing about the FSC, it's a managed package that is built on top of the Salesforce platform, as well as the Sales Cloud and the Service Cloud. So you'll get that functionality as well as industry-specific data to help you sell and serve your customers better. So since you get the Salesforce platform, you'll get that functionality such as the great user experience, the lightning experience, the Einstein that would come with Salesforce platform, and the analytics that you get with the platform. And then on top of that, you'll get the Sales Cloud functionality, such as Sales Path to sell better, and the Service Cloud functionality, case management to service your clients better. But the really cool thing is you'll get this managed package that will provide you functionality in the financial services area. Some of that functionality gets shared between a wealth manager, banker, or insurance company. So you'll get that as, say, an insurance agent, right? And for example, householding is a concept in wealth, really important to see all your customers and sell to all your customers and know who are supporting your customers. Not as really important in banking or insurance, but it's nice to have. So when you get the Financial Service Cloud, you'll have that functionality. Most importantly, you'll have insurance industry-specific functionality. So what's big in insurance will be claims information, policy information. So part of the package, you'll have custom objects to cover your policy information as well as claims information. Now, wealth, what's important is that relationship map as well as financial accounts and goals. So a wealth manager would get that, whereas a banker, you need checking account information, savings information, referrals are big, and you'll get that functionality. And another really cool feature of Salesforce is Financial Service Cloud. It is an open platform, right? So you can get Salesforce data as well as third-party data, and it's easy to be brought in. So in the insurance space, Guidewire or Varuna, banking and Cino, and say in wealth management, Science. So all that data can be brought in easily to help you get a full picture, a 360 view of the customer to sell and service your customer better.
Yeah, last week we talked a lot about how FSC is a package that Salesforce offers that's across the financial services industry. So it's not just for wealth management, it's not just for banking or retail banking or for insurance agencies even, but a broad spectrum of those kind of subcategories of the whole financial industry. So how does FSC specifically benefit organizations just within the insurance industry?
So the key thing, and not just insurance industry, but wealth and banking, it gives you all the data in one spot. Right. A lot of customer clients, they have legacy systems, and it's really hard to service their customers because the information will be siloed. It'll be in different areas. Salesforce is the only platform that will give you all of the insurance information on one single platform. So anything in the start to finish will be there so you can sell and service your customer better. So this prevents the quote unquote swivel chair effect. So for example, if I'm an agent and I'm trying to sell you on a lead, I'm in a CRM, but this person says, well, hey, tell me about something else. I got to get out of that system, log out, go into a green page system. It takes time. The customer gets frustrated. All of that information is serviced in a single spot. So it's really helpful in selling and servicing to a client.
So how does FSC, Financial Service Cloud, of course, I want to spell out that acronym as much as we can. How does it help firms organize and manage those client relationships, again, specifically within that insurance industry?
Yeah, so to build on the fact that we have all that data in place, that really lets you know your customer. So the customer, you can sell and service your customer better. And you mentioned back in 2015, we built the Financial Service Cloud. And the point then was, hey, if I'm an insurance agent, I'm going to have the same application as a pharmaceutical sales agent. It was very horizontal. Mm-hmm. So FSC came out and made it specific for subverticals. So now, as an insurance agent, I have all the insurance information right at my fingertips. Right. So when I open up my Salesforce application as an insurance agent, I'm going to get the Salesforce type functionality that they currently get, the accounts, opportunities, leads, cases, all that information, activity information, any related list that you'd normally get. But most importantly, you're going to get insurance information. You're going to get claims information, policy information. So I'll give you a use case example. If I'm an insurance agent, Michael, and I'm have an annual review with, say, Rachel Adams, I'm going to first off have the functionality of activity reminders, and I'll set up an activity to say, hey, call Rachel 12 o'clock today. Reminder pops up. I click on the reminder, and bam, I have Rachel's insurance account record information. And I'll know what her policy is, if she has any claims or renewal information. So when I speak to Rachel, I can say, oh, Rachel, I see you have let's say a homeowner's policy coming up, because in that screen, it's going to list all the different policies. And therefore, I can say, hey, let's figure out, do you want to renew it? And then there's also what's called white space. So another policy Rachel might need as a homeowner is a umbrella policy. So I can mention, maybe, Rachel, you want an umbrella policy? I could sell it to her there. Now, let's say Rachel says no, but as I'm sure everyone knows that watches TV and sees Flo from Progressive and the Geico Gecko, they're talking about bundling policies. This is a great chance to have an agent bundle a policy. So if Rachel has, let's say, that homeowner's policy, now the agent can offer the auto policy because she knows she doesn't have it. And what's really cool is it is very smart because of the Einstein. So let's say that Rachel has a 17-year-old coming on a policy. He's going to get a driver's license. So the agent knows that because there's a life event button that I'll talk a little bit more, and says, hey, Rachel's son is going to be a policyholder. And one of the main reasons people leave their policies is when a teenager comes on a policy. It's really expensive. So preventing that policyholder leading, because the policy goes up, now I can sell Rachel that policy. Hey, would you like to add, let's say, your son Anthony onto the policy? And she says yes. Now, as all that data is fully integrated, I know what Michael is, I know Rachel's car, how much policy limit she has. I can actually go in the system and get a quote, which is huge, because normally an agent would say, hey, wait, let me close down the system and go into a portal that has to give a rating, or have to call an agent, and they may call back a day or two later with a price. Here, it's all seamlessly in here. And another example too is there's going to be life events component. And let's say Rachel told me that she was pregnant, she was going to have a baby 2 months ago. Now I can first off say congratulations on the birth, but then say, Rachel, you know what? You need a life insurance policy. You got to protect your customers. She's there. So it gives you really a lot of good information. And then also, let's say Rachel says, hey, Frank, I submitted a policy for some water damage, or claim for some water damage. You can click on a button and say what the status on that is. Hey, Rachel, you get a check in a couple days from now. So like I said, all the data is going to be stored so you can easily service and sell the customer better.
Yeah. So it's really all about that consolidation, right? That 365-degree view of the customer. It's not having 12 tabs and, Rachel's on the phone and hold on one second. I gotta look for that real quick. And 10 minutes later of pause and silence, they finally get to it. It's eliminating.
If you ever call a customer support person and they put you on hold, how frustrating that is. Yeah. It really broadens the relationship. Now you're in a good relationship with the customer.
Yeah, and opens up those cross-sell and upsell opportunities for
exactly
that salesman. Yeah, salesperson. Absolutely. So what are some additional, you've talked a lot about the advantages, but maybe we can talk a little about advantages, but also capabilities of FSC to integrate with backend systems, especially all the different types of insurance systems that have to feed into Salesforce.
And that's huge. And I was kind of hitting on that in the beginning, the open platform, right? So in the front end, as an insurance agent, you want your CRM. So that's one application. But you mainly, as an insurance agent, you might be working in an AMS system, right? So now we have relationships with the top AMS application companies, such as Veruna, Vertafore, or Applied. So as an insurance agent, I'll have that functionality of CRM and AMS functionality all tied into one. Right. Additionally, one of the first partners we worked with is a back-end system that's a major player in the insurance space called Guidewire. So we can now surface that layer of insurance information. And what I would like to think about is now, because we surface that information, it's not a partnership of 1 + 1 = 2. It's a 1 + 1 = 3, actually. And for example, right, because the CRM, the insurance information goes into Salesforce CRM, you've got Einstein information. So as an insurance agent, I may work for an agency that gives me a ton of leads, and I'm really busy, and I want to make sure that I make the maximum use of my time, and I call the agent who has the most marginal propensity to buy a policy. With Einstein scoring, that lead would be at the top of my list. If I have Salesforce Lightning phone schedule, I click on that and I call that person, as opposed to maybe calling someone someone that we like uninsurable. So it's definitely having that ability to get insurance information allows the insurance agent to work more effectively. And as I mentioned earlier, you can have quoting within inside the application without going into the portal. So it just really illustrates single pane of glass functionality and the data insurance agent needs.
So you talk about Einstein and analytics a little bit. I want to dive deeper into that, though. What types of analytics does FSC offer specifically for the insurance industry? And where does Einstein fall in there?
Yeah, so the key thing there is for an insurance, either agent or agency, you're going to get to know your book of business. So with Einstein Analytics, when FSC first came out, it was called Wave Analytics. Now it's Einstein Analytics. You get the standard reports that you would in Salesforce. And you also have the ability to create customized reports. But what's really key with the insurance FSC is your book of business, your agent's book of business. So you'll get a listing of all of your customers, and you can see, who's my most important customer by lines of business or by segments. And then as an agency, if I am managing, or a manager, if I'm managing agents, it really gives me a good holistic view of my agent's book of business, how all those business policies roll up into one book of business. So as a manager or an agency, I can look at my different agencies or my sales agents and say, hey, who's the most successful agent by line of business or by region? And then we can adjust and strategize, maybe say, hey, we need to have more sales agents in the West, or maybe, we're doing well in, say, cyber stuff, we should hire more cyber people. Or it's a good collaborative tool to say, hey, this agent sells homeowners really well, and another agent's not selling homeowners very well. We can connect those two and collaborate it through chat or other collaborative tools that Salesforce offers.
Absolutely. Well, Frank, thanks so much. I don't have any more questions for you. I always appreciate your insight, and I know we're going to have you back next week. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into banking, right?
Yep, we will. Another subvertical that Salesforce FSC covers, definitely.
Great. Well, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate your insight into the Salesforce world, especially with FSC and the Financial Services Cloud. We have lots of clients and organizations that have been coming to us lately about financial service needs for their company, especially around customer engagement and customer insight. And so Salesforce is the platform for them. We're glad that everybody could be here today, and we hope to see everybody on Thursday at 2:30 Central Time for our next live. Thanks, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.